The island was uninhabited when first settled by the British in 1627. African slaves worked the sugar plantations established on the island until 1834 when slavery was abolished. The economy remained heavily dependent on sugar, rum, and molasses production through most of the 20th century. The gradual introduction of social and political reforms in the 1940s and 1950s led to complete independence from the UK in 1966. In the 1990s, tourism and manufacturing surpassed the sugar industry in economic importance.
Barbados Summary.
Adobe PDF.
Geography.
Barbados.
Location: Caribbean, island in the North Atlantic Ocean, northeast of Venezuela.
Geographic coordinates: 1310 N, 5932 W.
Map references: Central America and the Caribbean.
Area: total
430 square kilometers.
Land:
430 square kilometers.
Water:
0 square kilometers.
Country comparison to the world:
202.
Area: comparative 2.5 times the size of Washington, D.C.
Land boundaries: 0 kilometers.
Coastline: 97 kilometers.
Maritime claims: territorial sea.
12 nanometers.
Exclusive economic zone:
200 nanometers.
Climate: tropical, rainy season, June to October.
Terrain: relatively flat, rises gently to central highland region.
Elevation: 0 m lowest point.
Atlantic Ocean:
336 highest point.
Mount Hillaby.
Natural resources: petroleum, fish, natural gas.
Land use: agricultural land,
32.6%.
arable land,
25.6%, /permanent crops,
2.3%, permanent pasture,
4.7%,
forest,
19.4%,
other,
48%.
Irrigated land, 50 square kilometers.
Population distribution: most densely populated country in the Eastern Caribbean. Approximately one-third live in urban areas.
Natural hazards: infrequent hurricanes, periodic landslides.
Environment: current issues: pollution of coastal waters from waste disposal by ships, soil erosion, illegal solid waste disposal threatens contamination of aquifers.
Environment: international agreements. Party 2.
Biodiversity: climate change Kyoto Protocol, desertification, endangered species, hazardous wastes, law of the sea, marine dumping, ozone layer protection, ship pollution, wetlands.
Signed, but not ratified.
None of the selected agreements.
Geography: note, easternmost Caribbean island.
People and society:
Barbados.
population 293,131.
Country comparison to the world:
180.
Nationality: noun.
Barbadian, S. Obadian, colloquial.
Adjective:
Barbadian Obadian, colloquial.
Ethnic groups: Black 92.4%, Mixed 3.1%, White 2.7%, East Indian 1.3%, Other 0.2%, Unspecified 0.3%.
Languages: English, official. Bajan, English-based Creole language, widely spoken in informal settings.
Religions: Protestant 66.4%, includes Anglican 23.9%, Other Pentecostal 19.5%, Adventist 5.9%, Methodist 4.2%, Wesleyan 3.4%, Nazarene 3.2%, Church of God 2.4%, Baptist 1.8%, Moravian 1.2%, Other Protestant 0.9%, Roman Catholic 3.8%, Other Christian 5.4%, includes Jehovah's Witness 2.0%, Other 3.4%, Rastafarian 1%, Other 1.5%, Non 20.6%, Unspecified 1.2%.
Age structure: 0 to 14 years.
17.8%, male 26,084/female 26,090.
15 to 24 years.
12.53%, male 18,236/female 18,479.
25 to 54 years.
43.69%, male 63,829/female 64,249.
55 to 64 years.
13.62%, male 18,888/female 21,043.
65 years and over.
12.36%, male 14,705/female 21,528.
Population pyramid.
Population pyramid.
Dependency ratios.
Dependency ratios are a measure of the age structure of a population. They relate the number of individuals that are likely to be economically dependent on the support of others. Dependency ratios contrast the ratio of youths, ages 0-14, and the elderly, ages 65 plus, to the number of those in the working age group, ages 15-64. Changes in the dependency ratio provide an indication of potential social support requirements resulting from changes in population age structures. As a fertility level. More dependency ratios field listing.
Total dependency ratio.
50.4.
Youth dependency ratio.
29.1.
Elderly dependency ratio.
21.3.
Potential support ratio.
4.7.
Median age, total.
38.9 years.
Male.
37.8 years.
Female.
40.1 years.
Country comparison to the world.
56.
Population growth rate.
The average annual percent change in the population, resulting from a surplus, or deficit, of births over deaths and the balance of migrants entering and leaving a country. The rate may be positive or negative. The growth rate is a factor in determining how great a burden would be imposed on a country by the changing needs of its people for infrastructure, for example, schools, hospitals, housing, roads, resources, for example, food, water, electricity, and jobs. Rapid population growth can be seen as more population growth rate field listing.
0.26%.
Country comparison to the world.
176.
Birth rate, 11.6 births out of 1,000 population.
Country comparison to the world.
169.
Death rate, 8.6 deaths out of 1,000 population.
Country comparison to the world.
73.
Net migration rate, minus 0.3 migrants out of 1,000 population.
Country comparison to the world.
113.
Population distribution. Most densely populated country in the Eastern Caribbean. Approximately 1/3 live in urban areas.
Urbanization, urban population.
31.1% of total population.
Rate of urbanization.
0.2% annual rate of change.
Major urban areas, population. 89,000 Bridgetown, capital.
Sex ratio at birth.
1.01 male apostrophe s/female.
0 to 14 years.
1 male apostrophe s/female.
15 to 24 years.
0.99 male apostrophe s/female.
25 to 54 years.
0.99 male apostrophe s/female.
55 to 64 years.
0.88 male apostrophe s/female.
65 years and over.
0.66 male apostrophe s/female.
Total population.
0.94 male apostrophe s/female.
Maternal mortality rate.
The maternal mortality rate, MMR, is the annual number of female deaths per 100,000 live births from any cause related to or aggravated by pregnancy or its management, excluding accidental or incidental causes. The MMR includes deaths during pregnancy, childbirth, on within 42 days of termination of pregnancy, irrespective of the duration and site of the pregnancy, for a specified year. Maternal mortality rate field listing.
27 deaths/100,000 live births.
Country comparison to the world.
117.
Infant mortality rate, total.
10 deaths out of 1,000 live births.
Male.
11.1 deaths out of 1,000 live births.
Female.
8.9 deaths out of 1,000 live births.
Country comparison to the world.
134.
Life expectancy at birth, total population.
75.7 years.
Male.
73.3 years.
Female.
78.1 years.
Country comparison to the world.
103.
Total fertility rate, 1.68 children born. woman.
Country comparison to the world.
175.
Contraceptive prevalence rate.
This field gives the percent of women of reproductive age, 1549, who are married or in union and are using, or whose sexual partner is using, a method of contraception according to the date of the most recent available data. The contraceptive prevalence rate is an indicator of health services, development, and women's empowerment. It is also useful in understanding past, present, and future fertility trends, especially in developing countries. Contraceptive prevalence rate field listing.
59.2%.
Health expenditures, 7.5% of GDP.
Country comparison to the world.
64.
Hospital bed density, 5.8 beds out of 1,000 population.
Drinking water source, improved.
Urban.
99.7% of population.
Rural.
99.7% of population.
Total.
99.7% of population.
Unimproved.
Urban.
0.3% of population.
Rural.
0.3% of population.
Total.
0.3% of population.
Sanitation facility access, improved.
Urban.
96.2% of population.
Rural.
96.2% of population.
Total.
96.2% of population.
Unimproved.
Urban.
3.8% of population.
Rural.
3.8% of population.
Total.
3.8% of population.
HIV/AIDS, adult prevalence rate, 1.6%.
Country comparison to the world.
31.
HIV/AIDS, people living with HIV/AIDS, 2,700.
Country comparison to the world.
127.
HIV/AIDS, deaths.
Less than 100. Major infectious diseases. Note.
Active local transmission of Zika virus by Aedes species mosquitoes has been identified in this country. As of August 2016, it poses an important risk. A large number of cases possible among U.S. citizens if bitten by an infective mosquito. Other less common ways to get Zika are through sex, via blood transfusion, or during pregnancy, in which the pregnant woman passes Zika virus to her fetus.
Obesity. Adult prevalence rate, 23.1%.
Country comparison to the world.
67.
Children under the age of 5 years underweight, 3.5%.
Country comparison to the world.
92.
Education expenditures, 5.1% of GDP.
Country comparison to the world.
66.
School life expectancy, primary to tertiary education.
School life expectancy, SLE, is the total number of years of schooling, primary to tertiary, that a child can expect to receive, assuming that the probability of his or her being enrolled in school at any particular future age is equal to the current enrollment ratio at that age. Caution must be maintained when utilizing this indicator in international comparisons. For example, a year or grade completed in one country is not necessarily the same in terms of educational content or quality. More school life expectancy, primary to tertiary education, field listing.
Total.
15 years.
Male.
14 years.
Female.
17 years.
Unemployment, youth ages 15-24. Total.
29.6%.
Male.
27.9%.
Female.
31.5%.
Country comparison to the world.
33.
Government.
Barbados.
Country name, conventional long form.
None.
Conventional short form.
Barbados.
Etymology.
The name derives from the Portuguese, as Barbados, which means the bearded ones, and can refer either to the long, hanging roots of the island's bearded fig trees or to the alleged beards of the native Carib inhabitants.
Government type, parliamentary democracy, parliament, under a constitutional monarchy, a Commonwealth realm.
Capital, name.
Bridgetown.
Geographic coordinates.
1306 N, 5937 W.
Time difference.
UTC 4, 1 hour ahead of Washington, D.C., during Standard Time.
Etymology.
Named after a bridge constructed over the swampy area, known as the Careen Age, around the Constitution River that flows through the center of Bridgetown.
Administrative divisions. 11 parishes and 1 city *. Bridgetown *. Christchurch, St Andrew, St George, St James, St John, St Joseph, St Lucy, St Michael, St Peter, St Philip, St Thomas.
Independence.
For most countries, this entry gives the date that sovereignty was achieved and from which nation, empire, or trusteeship. For the other countries, The date given may not represent independence in the strict sense, but rather some significant nationhood event such as the traditional founding date or the date of unification, federation, confederation, establishment, fundamental change in the form of government, or state succession. For a number of countries, the establishment of statehood. More independence field listing.
The 30th of November 1966. From the UK.
National holiday. Independence Day, the 30th of November, 1966.
Constitution. History.
Adopted the 22nd of November 1966, effective the 30th of November 1966.
Amendments.
Proposed by Parliament. Passage of amendments to constitutional sections such as citizenship, fundamental rights and freedoms, and the organisation and authorities of the branches of government requires 2/3 majority vote by the membership of both Houses of Parliament. Passage of other amendments only requires a majority vote of both houses. Amended several times, last in 2010.
Legal system. English common law. No judicial review of legislative acts.
International law organization participation. Accepts compulsory ICJ jurisdiction with reservations. Accepts SIC jurisdiction.
Citizenship. Citizenship by birth.
Yes.
Citizenship by descent only.
Yes.
Dual citizenship recognized.
Yes.
Residency requirement for naturalization.
5 years.
Suffrage. 18 years of age. Universal.
Executive branch. Chief of State.
Queen Elizabeth II. Since the 6th of February 1952, represented by Governor-General Chandra Mason. Since the 8th of January 2018.
Head of Government.
Prime Minister Mia Mottley. Since the 25th of May 2018.
Cabinet.
Cabinet appointed by the Governor-General on the advice of the Prime Minister.
Elections/appointments.
The monarchy is hereditary. Governor-General appointed by the monarch, following legislative elections. The leader of the majority party or leader of the majority coalition usually appointed Prime Minister by the Governor-General. The Prime Minister recommends the Deputy Prime Minister.
Legislative branch. Description.
Bicameral Parliament consists of
Senate, 21 seats. Members appointed by the Governor-General -12 on the advice of the Prime Minister, 2 on the advice of the opposition leader, and 7 at the discretion of the Governor-General.
House of Assembly, 30 seats. Members directly elected in single-seat constituencies by simple majority vote to serve 5-year terms.
Elections. Senate. Last appointments on the 5th of June 2018. Next appointments not.
House of Assembly. Last held on the 24th of May 2018. Next to be held in 2023.
Election results. Senate. Appointed. Composition. Men 16, women 5%, of women 23.8%.
House of Assembly. Percent of vote by party, BLP 74.6%, DLP 22.6%, other 2.8%, seats by party, BLP 30, composition, men 24, women 6%, of women 20%, note, total parliament percent of women 21.6%.
Note.
Tradition dictates that the election is held within 5 years of the last election. But constitutionally it is 5 years from the first seating of Parliament plus a 90-day grace period.
Judicial branch. Highest courts.
Supreme Court, consists of the High Court with 8 justices, and the Court of Appeal, consists of the High Court Chief Justice and President of the Court and 4 justices. Note, in 2005, Barbados succeeded to the Caribbean Court of Justice as the final Court of Appeal, replacing that of the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council in London.
Judge selection in term of office.
Supreme Court Chief Justice appointed by the Governor-General on the recommendation of the Prime Minister and Opposition Leader of Parliament. Other justices appointed by the Governor-General on the recommendation of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. A 5-member independent body consisting of the Supreme Court Chief Justice, the Commission Head, and Governor-General appointees recommended by the Prime Minister. Justices serve until mandatory retirement at age 65.
Subordinate courts.
Magistrates' courts.
Political parties and leaders. Bajan Free Party. Alex Mitchell.
Barbados Integrity Movement, Neil Holder.
Barbados Labour Party or BLP. Mia Mottley.
Democratic Labour Party or DLP, Frundle Stewart.
People's Democratic Congress. Mark Adamson.
People's Empowerment Party or PEP, David Cumsh.
Solutions Barbados. Grenville Phillips II.
United Progressive Party or UPP, Lynette Eastmond.
International Organization Participation AP, AUSIS, C, CARICOM, CDB, CELAC, FAO, G77, YIDP, IBD, ICAO, ICT, ICM, IDA, IFAD, IFX, ELO, IMF, IMO, Interpol, IOC, ISO, ITSO, ITU, ITUC, NGOs, LEAS, MEGA, NAM, OAS, OpenAll, OPC, UN, UNCTAD, UNESCO, UNHCR, UNIDO, UPU, UCO, UF2, NGOs, WHO, WIPO, WMO, RITO.
Diplomatic representation in the U.S. Chief of Mission.
Ambassador Selwyn Charles Hart, since the 18th of January 2017.
Chancery.
2144 Wyoming Avenue Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20008.
Telephone.
1-202-93